Okay, everyone, and welcome back.
Hi, Misha. Start to copy down the equations just to pass the time, not noticing Misha's head poking over my shoulder until she is almost on top of me. What are you doing? I try to strike a balance between being quiet enough to not draw attention to myself, but loud enough to draw hers. What are you doing, He-chan? Panic shoots through me as Misha starts talking at her normal volume. I sputter out a hasty reply, still keeping my voice down despite the fact that she just blew my hope of being discreet I may have. I'm copying down that stuff. What are you doing? Why so loud? Oh, really? But it's all in the book. That's why no one else is copying it down. I know. Why are you so loud? Why are you so quiet, He-chan? It's hard to hear you. I look around to see if anyone is noticing our conversation, and it's pretty obvious that everyone has, even the teacher. Shizune smiles coyly, and I start to wonder if Misha's doing this because she told her to. Is it because of what happened between her and Lily earlier? This is what I get for trying to be reasonable, trying to take the middle path. Shizune is way too prideful, although by now I should know to expect that kind of behavior from her. Why are you doing this? Huh? Misha is totally oblivious to the awkward stare that the teacher is giving both of us. Louie, I think? Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. I see talking loud runs the family. Fuck you! Okay. Misha is totally oblivious to the awkward stare that the teacher is giving both of us, while trying to balance her textbook on one finger. For a brief second, it looks as if things could get ugly, but the teacher simply looks away as if it's not worth the trouble. I guess this is a good thing. I slump back in my seat in relief. The rest of the day passes by uneventfully, and this time I'm able to appreciate that it does. When the bell rings, I'm not in a hurry, so I stay for a while, reviewing what we covered in class today. I prefer to leave last anyway. When the bell rings, I'm not in a hurry, so I stay for a while, reviewing what we covered in class today. I prefer to leave last anyway, so we don't have to deal with crowd in the hallways. I notice that Shizune and Misha have also stayed behind, talking to someone from another class. Shizune's signing so fast that her hands make noises like swords cutting through the air. Misha is trying desperately to keep up, but it's clear she can barely manage to even understand her. I put my head down. Whatever they're discussing, it looks like serious business. Ay, claro. Yo no sé que esta está en español también. Qué bueno. Pues entonces aquí está inglés. So, vamos a hablar en inglés. Voy a continuar. All is good. Put my head down. Whatever they're discussing, it looks like serious business. Probably way over my head. Not just that, but Shizune also seems angry. Although, it could just be her normal severity making it appear so. Shizune signs to the point where her wrists crackle, and Misha struggles to spit it out in word form. Sometimes she trips over herself like she's dealing with tongue twisters, and on top of that, she has to sign back anything the other girl says. Seems like a rough job. Misha looks tired, like she's about to faint. Lucky for her, their business is soon finished, and the girls sit down on their seats again. Oh, I'm so tired. She's hanging her head limply on her desk, looking exhausted. Festival preparations must be tough for you. Indeed, the people in the school seem to be taking the festival very seriously. Whenever I see people idling around before or after classes, they're always talking about their plans for it. It's kind of neat to see people being so enthusiastic about it. I'm probably the only one who doesn't have something to do. Shizune starts signing at me, and Misha perks up, looking at her hands with slightly unfocused eyes. She signs with harsh, heavy, dramatic strokes. Misha translates her signing into speech for me. She does it so well, it's almost like Shizune's actually speaking, transmitting her thoughts directly through Misha. Well, we're in the student council, so we're pretty busy. Sarcasm? Huh? Tone of Shizune's actions make me think she is speaking with disdain, but Misha interprets it normally, replacing whatever intent may have been there with her own super twist on things. It's still disorienting. I don't think I'll ever get used to it. Never mind. How could I forget, with you two trying to get me to join at least twice a day? But He-chan, some could say the work is too much. It'd be nice if students were to show a little more support for their leadership. Some appreciation to the ones who are working so hard to make it all possible. Maybe, for example, a little help. It's asking too much, isn't it? Yep. Help would be appreciated from students like you. Students would show their dedication and school spirit, offer some help. Well, I don't exactly need it, but I wouldn't necessarily refuse it, so it would be nice if someone would. Oh, hello? Hi, Hanako. I look over my shoulder and see Hanako peering timidly into the classroom, most of her body hidden behind the door. Hey, playing delinquent again? Hanako blushes hard at Misha's straightforward jab, even if it was only in jest. Aww. Shizune stares at her probingly, causing Hanako to look down and start backing away to the point where only her finger can be seen wrapped nervously around the edge of the door. Maybe she's showing her dislike of Hanako by association of her dislike of Lily. Oh, right. It appears so, and Hanako probably knows it as well. They seem to have momentarily forgotten about trying to get me to stay for the rest of the day. What is it, Hanako?
Has Lily been here?
Sorry, Satao's not here. She came by in the morning, though. Hanako keeps looking uneasily at Shizune, who stares back at her with her usual studying gaze. What is she trying to do? Of course, Shizune isn't going to look away, and she's intimidating enough as it is, so I can only imagine how terrified Hanako would be. It's a little funny, though, watching Hanako's reaction to Shizune's normal behavior. This is what happens when two people of different extremes meet, it seems.
Do you know where she is?
If she has any sense in her head, she's in her classroom, working on their festival project. But who knows where that woman is loitering at. She might be slacking off somewhere, just like He-chan. Damn, what is it with Shizune and her need to point out stuff like that? Hanako nods quickly and retreats with haste. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, we're working really hard to make the festival happen. And driving other people insane along the way. Well, good luck with that. Stand up to leave, making my exit before either of them manage to berate me anymore for slacking off. Halls are somewhat quiet, as expected. Everyone must be in club meetings or festival preparations, or both. Shizune's words about being a slacker echo in my head. I feel a bit guilty about not contributing, but I seem to lack the resolve to do anything concrete about the matter. For the festival, it's too late already, unless I count helping Shizune and Misha, which I naturally don't. And clubs? I don't know. Maybe I'm not a club type of person. Halfway through the way from the school building to the dorms, I spot a figure in front of the dorms. It's Rin. Lovely. Looks like she's working on her mural today, too. I walk over to her, and she doesn't seem to notice me approaching. She's sitting on an upturned box, looking intently at the wall. She's painting with a brush held between her toes. The mural has progressed considerably since yesterday, but still only half done, as far as I can tell. More colors have appeared. The twisted human-like figures have spread and increased in number. I have to say, the style is quite eye-catching and very unique. Not that I would be knowledgeable about art by any measurable scale, but it's nice looking nonetheless. Clear my throat to get her attention, but not startle her so that her concentration won't break. Wait. She doesn't even turn to check who it is. I'll wait. 15 minutes later, I decide that her concentration is indeed unbroken, and also that I've waited long enough to warrant poking her gently on the shoulder to remind her of my presence. Rin turns her head mechanically to my direction, ending up staring at my crotch level. God. Oh, it's so. She can tell. I would feel a lot less uncomfortable if she would look at my face. It's Vita! An astute observation. Hard at work, I see. Conversation starts as if I hadn't been here for a quarter of an hour already, but it's not a concern. At least it starts. Looking good. It does. The layers of paint hiding other layers of paint, mixing and shaping the human figures really create an impressive look, but Rin looks miffed. You shouldn't comment on works in progress. 7 years bad luck. Sounds terrible. I guess I'll take it back then. Still, looks good. I wonder if I get 14 years bad luck for thinking that. Rin turns back to look at her painting and pokes it with a big toe. Could you mix some of this color? I'm running out of it. She looks down at a half-empty bowl with the remains of the same pinkish paint in it. Didn't really intend to stay and help her with this project, though. I guess I didn't intend to do anything much. I look at Rin. She looks emptily back at me. Just this once. Rin picks up another brush and drenches it in another tone of pale red. There are dozens of similar bowls all around her working area. From the looks of this scene, she could have been sitting there for hours. I wonder if she has. That would mean she'd been skipping school, though, which, of course, wouldn't put beyond someone like Rin. Pour a little bit of white and red into the bowl, trying to match the color with the one already on the wall. Can't seem to get it right. It's really inconvenient of her to not mix enough in the first place. Getting it to be exactly the same tone will be impossible, but at least I can try to get as close as I can. Speaking of hard work, isn't that a huge workload for you too? It's such a big painting and all. Oh, I'm not old and bitter enough yet to think like that. I guess you aren't. You guessed right. Legs hurt, though. I feel like slugs. Slugs made of sea slugs. Because of the position? Yeah. I like doing it in a horizontal position more. If... I'm sitting here asking myself why my wife is snickering. And it didn't quite register right away. But about 2/3 of the way through the sentence, it occurred to me, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna stop and appreciate the beauty of the sexual mind of this person. So if we're done being 7, we're gonna move on. Yeah, I like doing it in a horizontal position, or if you know what I'm talking about. Son of a whore! Oh god, it gets worse! It gets so much worse! But it can't be helped. I can't ask the wall to lay down. Oh, Rin gets a route, right? Cause, I'm relatively sure I'm not gonna be able to stream Rin's route. I'm like 90% sure of that one. Aw, Jiao Senpai, thank you for the bits. Sonic, it's funny because, yes, thank you. It's funny when you read through this stuff, when you're reading through a visual novel, but you're not reading it out loud, right? You're just reading it in your head. You miss stuff. It happens. That's why when I have provided proofreading to various mods in development, I've ultimately decided that my proofreading is best done reading aloud. Because there are just some nuances that you just don't get unless the lines are being spoken. That's a good example. Okay, Bun Bun, have a good day. Wow!
Wow! Bye, Bun Bun! Have a good night!
Alright, and away we go. Saying that, she stretches herself a little, bending her legs and back far more than a human should flex. It's astonishing how effortlessly she manages her body around. There is a small flinch in her otherwise blank expression. In pain, maybe? She stretches out her calves. Rin must have stamina. Rin must have stamina and dexterity far above a normal person to be able to live like she does. But she's wearing out working on this. Why push yourself so much? Take a break or something at least. Continue tomorrow if it's bad. This gives her a pause. Long one, too, feeling like a mental yawn. I don't think so, Xiao.
Bye, Bun Bun.
I'm not pushing myself. Sure looks like you are. No, it's not about pushing or pulling or anything related to that kind of thing. There's this boy. A boy? Yes. Where? At the art club. And? He's blind. Oh, how can you paint if you're blind? No idea. So why is he there? That's the point. He is there. She really should speak more than one word at a time to make this feel more like a discussion and less like an interrogation. He can't really do anything that you'd call art, right? But he comes there anyway, and he paints. Why? I don't know. Why? I don't know. That's why I asked. So... he doesn't paint often, but I think his paintings are very interesting. I'm sure they are. I once tried that, painting with my eyes closed. Wasn't too interesting, and cleaning up the floor took ages, but didn't try again. But he's becoming better at sculpting. I see. Maybe she was trying to make a point with this. Maybe she forgot she had one. Seems like the art club is full of interesting people. Not really. Pretty blunt statement, and she totally missed the sarcasm. No? Just like I said, they're not very interesting. I usually don't have much interest in people who are not interesting. Maybe you have. Maybe. But that boy is interesting. Maybe I'm like that boy. Maybe you are. maybe everyone is. Doing things you can't do just because you can. That's pretty deep, I think, and I tell that to her. You're a deep one. Nah, I'm a really shallow and thoughtless person. People say that to me all the time. Did you know I can only think of 4 things at the same time? No, but now I do. Right now, I'm thinking of the 2nd floor, girls' toilet, ice cream flavored ice cream, the middle toe, and a haircut. I just... Rin's an interesting one. I'm going to need a haircut. That was a really cool effect. I want to see that again. That was a really cool, like, play on positioning. Like, that was I keep saying it, but I'll say it again. I really need to crack this game's code because some of the shit that they do is just phenomenal. Oh, so good. So good. She shakes her head around vigorously, letting her short and messy hair ruffle wildly around. I could see that doing it is something she likes to do. All silent, as Rin treads around absent-mindedly, poking some brushes around. Thought that about the art club sticks in my head for a while longer. Feeling like I'm treading on very unknown territory with art. The way these meetings with Rin go, it's as though I'm starting a smoking habit or something. I should probably stop talking with her. It's not like I dislike her, despite the confusion her being herself causes. And I don't dislike art either. I've even drawn for fun sometimes. Just don't have a real creative drive or any technical skill. So usually, if I were to draw something, I get white paper syndrome and just freeze completely. That, or I manage to draw something disfigured and promptly get frustrated at my inability to put the picture in my head down on paper, then call it quits without really even trying to make an effort. Oh, my relatable dude. Rin clearly doesn't have this problem, but she frustrates me in another way. Being with her is like looking into a mirror that doesn't reflect anything. Makes one question the sanity of the act. Rin sits down on her box, swaying from side to side, apparently comfortable with the uncomfortable silence. She's staring at me again, or maybe over my shoulder. Can't quite figure out where her eyes are focused. Thinking of leaving so she can carry on working undistracted, and that I can do whatever I'm going to do alone. It's not like I have anything that must be done today. Ah, shoot. Who? Good answer. Nobody. I just forgot to tell Hanako that Lily was looking for her. Do you know her? From my class? Oh, her. Mystery toilet girl. Any? That person is funny. I saw her going to the toilet 5 times during one recess 3 weeks ago. I'm sure it's the world record. It was very mysterious. That's why you call her Mystery Toilet Girl. What other reason could there possibly be? Well, if there is, it's an eternal mystery. I didn't follow her in there. Maybe it was the week before that? Could have been. Looking at her makes me hungry. Don't say that. At least not around her. What? Rin turns to look at me blankly, as if she's not sure why I reproved her. But she doesn't acknowledge understanding any more than before, so I give up at this point. I think actually she was talking about Hanako. Because, you know, Hanako's, like, always ducking out of class. Wow, Hisao, just jumping right to it. So, you want to go eat dinner, then?
Not yet.
Rin has turned her hungry gaze back to the wall, looking slightly more energetic, or at least less lethargic than she did before. It's as if the wall is an opponent she has to vanquish, something she must overcome before she can indulge in dinner. And this is the feeling I get. A weird sense of empathy overcomes me and makes me smile a little to myself. For all her oddity, Rin is pretty cool after all. I'll be going anyway. Have fun. Rin has already grasped a brush and is dipping it into fresh paint, so of course she can't hear me anymore or doesn't answer anything even if she does. Adhering to the nurse's nagging voice in the back of my head, I set my alarm clock to wake me up early enough to go jogging again. I made a promise, and I'm going to keep it. Besides, Emmy is bound to rat on me if I don't show up. But it's not all that bad. My morning alarm goes off, and there's the Bun Bun! Hey, buddy. My morning alarm goes off, and I flail about uselessly for a while, until I remember that I decided to give morning runs another shot. Don't know if this was my greatest idea. Hey, Paul. Don't know if this was my greatest idea, but I'm determined to keep going. This is about my health, after all. Sure, things haven't been great lately for me, but that hasn't made existence so intolerable that I'm not going to try everything I can to stay healthy. Besides, it's all about asserting some kind of control over this thing, right? If I can manage that, well, I can manage anything. Well, I like our protagonist's newfound positivity. At least, that's what I keep telling myself. Good man, good man. Once again, it would appear that I'm not alone on my run. Yes, Madam Spy herself. Emmy has apparently been here for some time. Looks like she's already worked up a good sweat. Just when the hell does she come down here anyway? Hey, Bun Bun, yes, thank you very much.
Oh, it's you. I'm surprised to see you again.
Why's that?
Well, not many people actually manage to come back for a second try.
She frowns, seemingly annoyed by the passing thought.
Like the rest of the track team, for instance. Still, it was only supposed to be on a volunteer basis, so it's not that big of a shock. And I guess it's pretty early in the morning.
A shrug, and suddenly it appears that she's forgotten what she was talking about. Frown disappears entirely, and she seems to snap back to her previous train of thought.
So, come on then.
What?
You're here to run again, right?
Well, yes.
So, come on.
Find myself suddenly grabbed and yanked onto the track. Things seem to be set on mirroring yesterday's run. That is, I seem to be struggling while Emmy moves with an effortlessness that I find enviable. It's incredibly bothersome to be so easily worn out. I know I should be patient, work toward things gradually, but it's difficult to stay positive about this. We run the track and start on our second lap. Emmy seems to have grown impatient keeping pace with me and begins to pull away. This is where I gave out yesterday. Will I be able to do more? Perhaps in the event that we decided to go for an Emmy route. Go for it would probably be the best option, but that's not in the cards this time. I let Emmy go with her own pace, and she doesn't show mercy, pulling half a lap ahead of me in an instant. I don't blame her. I mean, it's not as if I'm really putting up any sort of real fight out here, is it? Instead, I'm just running at a steady pace, which is what I should be doing, right? There's no need to go pushing my limits at this stage of the game. God, is it even worth it? As we finish the second lap, I break off again. Me keeps going, and it almost seems to me that she's disappointed. Well, that's stupid. I don't have anything to prove to her. Come to think of it, I have nothing to prove to myself either. I'm just fine the way I am. And what I'm not is a runner. This was probably a bad idea. Maybe there's something else I can do instead of this. Getting up this early sucks anyway. Word! There's gotta be some other way to keep healthy. Walking, maybe? Nice afternoon walks. Hey, Jiao Senpai. Yeah, I'm with my dude Hisao here for sure. Yeah, that sounds good. Running isn't for me. I wave to Emmy and head back to my room. I'll think of something else later. Jiao. Hey, Emmy, let's go for a walk. Ooh. Back in my room, first thing I see is the familiar row of medication bottles lined up on top of my dresser, and makes me depressed, as usual. It's annoying. I thought I was okay. I thought I had made peace with this thing, gotten over it. But what I really did, allowed myself to forget that I have a problem. Being here really reminds me of the reality, and trying to fight against it just hurts. Reflecting on it is only going to do so much. I've done this before, for months. Seems like it's time to get over it. If I allow myself to forget that my life is definitely not going to be as long as those of others, I won't get anywhere. My life may be different from others, but it is a life in progress. That's how I rationalize it. I down the usual handful of pills, trying to push the sudden dreary feeling out of my head. Then I prepare to head out to class early, as usual. Oh, bro, here we go. As I step into the hallway, I notice Kenji coming around the hallway corner, stealthily making his way over to his room with a large bag. As he sneaks past me, soundlessly like a ninja hiding in plain sight, I call out to him. Hey! He jumps at the sound of my voice. Oh, hey man, I didn't notice you there. Really tired. I think it's more like he didn't see me, but that's not the issue. Where have you been this early? Shopping? Nah, I wasn't shopping. Sometimes I have to visit the math teacher. Yeah, I figured it would be a good idea to find out when the next exam is, since he tells you in advance if you want. So, what's in the bag? I thought I'd go shopping while I was outside. I need supplies to continue the fight against the vast feminist conspiracy. Okay. I thought you didn't go outside. I wear a hat now. What? I decide to not point out that he is not wearing a hat. Awkward silence settles between us, and then Kenji breaks it by pushing his door open slowly, releasing a creaking sound into the air that only makes the moment seem more awkward. He sets the bag down inside his room and then closes the door. I'm surprised you went out of your way to find out a test date. Trying to take advantage of an opportunity to study is pretty diligent. I never study. Oh. I just wanted to know when the next test day was. I'm still going to take it, duh. I need to know so I know what day I can't afford to skip class. He usually sends out updates on that crap by phone, so I had to step out and check up on it. And why do you have to go out when you can get it on your phone? I don't carry a phone. What do you mean you don't carry a phone? You mean you just leave it at home? Nah, I don't use phones. I don't have a phone. I have no phone. Why don't you have a phone? How can you not have a phone? No phone at all? No phone? I just don't like phones. Actually, I'm kind of scared of them. I don't know why. I think it's some kind of repressed trauma. But basically, when I hear a phone, I get nervous. It's my darkest secret. I have two theories on it. Either I have some fear of receiving some unidentified, ominous, life-altering doom call, or I was beaten with a phone in the past. Beaten so badly I can't remember it. Beaten in the head. Well... Kenji, we love to hate you, bro. Here you go, Paul. I like it. Jesus. Well, where else could I get beaten with a phone that would make me unable to remember it? The ass? Unexpectedly logical. I feel very depressed now. Sensing this conversation is more or less over, Kenji opens his door again and prepares to head inside. Yeah, I'm gonna sleep, dude. Have a good one. Class is gonna start in like 20 minutes. I already did something today. Too tired to go to school. Hey, you need some lip balm? I accidentally bought 2 because I thought the store had started selling individual AA batteries. I'm sorry, Kenji. Can you run that by me again, my friend? 'Cause I legitimately had to sit here and read through that again, and nope, I wasn't wrong. Thanks, but, no thanks. Whatever, man. He swiftly enters his lair, finally letting me go to the class. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and ring those bells. That's all I have for today. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye, everyone.